Hi and welcome to the Rural Project. This is the third and final part of this mini-series. In the first two parts of the mini-series you saw me excavate ground and start the installation of the retaining wall. In this third and final video what you'll see me do is complete the retaining wall and start all the backfill at the top, creating a parking area. Watch along, hope you enjoy, and don't forget to click subscribe and like. I've spent many days working on this retaining wall as a weekend warrior, but where you see me pick this video up is the top retaining wall is complete, the drainage is in place and ready for backfill. The lower retaining wall just has two rows of beams in place, and those beams are railway sleepers. So follow me as I continue to build this up and complete this project. So as you'll have seen in the previous videos, and as you can see in the photographs here, when I completed the excavation and did the benching for the retaining walls, I ended up with a lot of dirt in the lower section, and that area is where the garage is going to be. So I borrowed a bobcat and used the bobcat to actually backfill, moving the dirt from the lower section into the upper section and making that whole area a lot bigger, making it level. The driver for the bobcat was a neighbour who kindly offered to help, and he's pretty experienced at using bobcats, so as you'll see he makes light work of this. So what you can see here is a bobcat using the bucket to roughly smooth out all the bumps in the surface from all the different bucket loads of soil that have been brought in. Once it's roughly smooth, it then brings in a smudge bar just to give it a final sort of leveling, and then uses the weight of the machine to track all the soil in and compress it as best he can before he brings in further layers. And as you can see with the drone footage here, once the first layer was in place, tracked in to compress it and then run over with a smudge bar, we continued to move dirt from the lower area into the upper area, building that car park area up layer after layer. So at the end of moving dirt all day, we had a great car park space, and a lot of the dirt from the lower area now placed in the upper area. As you can see here, it's worked out pretty well. Really happy with the end results. What I did find is at the end of the day, due to the constant sort of moving around of the Bobcat, we turned a lot of the soil to absolute bull dust, as you'll see with this small video. The wind was really strong on this day, so before I left, what I decided to do was actually just get the fire hose out and wet all the soil so that everything didn't blow away, which I did before I left for the day. A few days later, when I came back to the land, what I did was set about completing the drainage. So working on the upper drain first, I sort of cut a slot to allow the drain pipe to be buried and allow a good fall. And then, as you can see here, put a rock formation over the top of the drain pipe just to protect it. I also then did the same thing on the lower drain for the lower wall. And as you can see, putting a mesh over the end just so that we don't end up with snakes and critters deciding to use the pipe as a home and blocking it. Once that was completed, the next task really was to start putting in the rest of the lower retaining wall. So all the beams were cut to length and recessed, as you've seen in the other videos, and installed, and the wall looking pretty complete. Once that was done, I realised I needed to put a sort of return on the end near the driveway. So as you can see here, I put sort of hand augered a hole, and managed to actually set another steel post. Put that small retaining wall in, which will hold back the earth of the driveway from falling into where the garage is. As part of putting this small wall in, what I also did was put in a surface drain with a view that in the future I'll put a small drain running across the top of the driveway and feed that drain into this surface drain, and prevent any of the water, or as much water as possible, running down the hill and towards the garage. So whilst this was all excavated, I put that surface drain in. And then at the end of this project, we saw the job complete. So the retaining wall, all two tiers were in place, all the drainage was in place, the top car park was all backfilled, levelled and smoothed, and I was really happy with the project to date. So the next steps for this area will be, obviously I need to put a garage in there at some point, or a shed I should say, and but there are further retaining walls that need to be built on the other side of the shed, and we'll show those in future videos. So as usual, if you've liked this video, please click subscribe, please click like, it does help, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.